Texas Republican Congressman and member of the House Financial Services Committee, Lance Gooden, joins us now. Congressman, welcome. Why make this move when we're already paying sky-high prices?
It makes no sense. It's as if President Biden doesn't want oil prices to go down, doesn't want energy costs to go down for Americans. If doing the same thing over and over again is insanity, then closing down this pipeline after the effects of shutting down the Keystone pipeline would tell me that he is insane. And I just can't imagine a scenario where anyone in the White House with a brain would say, let's shut down another pipeline and think things will get better going into wintertime when heating and oil are going to be needed.
You know, obviously there's going to be a message sent to this White House that this is just not going to go over well for voters because they're getting hit in the pocketbook just about everywhere. Empty store shelves, supply chain crisis, and now an energy crisis that they don't seem to have a plan for. This was the Ducey Jean-Pierre exchange. By the way, we're awaiting another briefing at the White House here any moment. But this was mind-boggling. Watch.
Why is the administration now considering shutting down the Line 5 pipeline from Canada to Michigan?
So, Peter, that is inaccurate. That is not right.
Is it being studied right now? Is the administration studying the impact of shutting down the Line 5?
Yes, we are. We are.
So then what's inaccurate?
Well, I thought you were saying that we were going to shut it down, but that is not inaccurate.
So very clearly, first saying it was inaccurate, the reporting, and then admitting that they are indeed weighing this shutdown. So why can't they get their own messaging straight on this?
I don't know. The spokespeople for this White House are just like the president. They're either ignorant, clueless, or purposely misleading the public. It depends on the issue that day. But we're often scratching our heads in Washington saying, does this White House really believe what they're saying? Do they know they're lying? Are they intentionally lying? It's very frustrating, but I think what the American people are going to uncomfortably realize is not only are these supply chain slowdowns going to ruin Christmas, but they could very well freeze to death based on the pathway that we're going down. And the Biden administration seems to be turning down every possible solution around the corner that comes their way. It's mind-boggling.
Well, I always say you can't ruin Christmas because it's about the spirit of Christmas, right? And maybe you won't get your Christmas presents on time, and there would certainly be some upset over that. I want to talk to you about this legislation.
You might be cold while you're opening those presents as well, and that would be tough.
It's a fair and serious point when you look at double-digit increases for the cost of heating your home this winter across the board. I want to ask you lastly about these vaccine mandates in schools in your state. What do you plan to do about that?
I filed legislation that calls on the Biden administration to not attach any federal funds for schools to vaccine mandates. I'm very confident that Texas public schools will not be enacting any vaccine mandates. I believe that Governor Abbott and our state legislature will ensure that nothing like that happens here. Unfortunately for kids in places like San Francisco and New York, I don't know that they'll have those same guarantees, but I will fight tooth and nail any vaccine mandate in my state, and I will also fight for the kids of San Francisco and New York as well. Any child in America should not be forced to have an injection into their body without their parents' consent.
I think it's important to point out Dr. Marty McCary, who is often a guest on the show, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. Children are not the thriving factor of this pandemic, he points out. Parents who want to get their kids protected, get the vaccine. He's encouraging them to do so. But just really clearly and really quickly, Congressman, you're not anti-vaccine. Vaccines work, but you are just against the mandates, to be clear.
Absolutely. Vaccine status is none of my business. I've told my constituents, get the vaccine if you want to, and if you don't, that's your business. It's none of my business. It's none of the government's business what you do with your body. And I believe that the vaccine mandates are not the way to go. And I believe that Virginians showed us what they think about that. And I suspect the people of Texas feel the same way.
Congressman, good to have you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
John?